They say that destiny has already been written. But I tell you, destiny is never a prophecy that falls from the sky. It is the first decision you make after opening your eyes every day. You can continue to lie down and wait for life to arrange it, or you can grit your teeth, get up from the floor, and hold your destiny firmly in your own hands. Do you think mediocrity is innate? No. Mediocrity is the result of your repeated compromises, and the price you pay for telling yourself forget it again and again. Every ordinary day does not make you freer, but locks you into a cage of meekness, numbness, and fear of making mistakes. Think about it, there are so many people in the world. Why are there only a few people standing at the top? Are they smarter? No. They only did one thing. Not accepting the default setting of destiny. They modified the script, challenged the rules, and tore up the life profile written for them by others. They opened their eyes every day and walk into this world like a warrior, not a tourist. Lincoln was born in a log cabin, his parents were illiterate, he went bankrupt at the age of 26, had a mental breakdown at the age of 27, lost the election to Congress at the age of 34, and was not even elected as a senator at the age of 46. But he did not bow his head, because he knew, destiny is not given by anyone, but he walked out step by step. Until the age of 51, he became the President of the United States. And you, are you still doubting your entire life because of a failed interview? Are you worthy of yourself? You have to realize that those people you envy are never lucky. They are not lucky, but they have not changed their direction after hitting the wall countless times. They use pain as a hammer to knock out their own channels one by one. They refuse to be silent, refuse to obey, and refuse the excuse of everyone does it anyway. They know that once you accept your fate, you are really finished. Faith is the voice that stands behind you when you want to give up the most. It says, you can't stop. But faith is not just about talking, but about working hard alone at 4 in the morning. It is the kind of toughness that you grit your teeth and persist when everyone says you are crazy. It is the courage that you choose to leap even though you know there is a cliff ahead. You must be clear-headed. No one will be responsible for your life. If you don't act, the world will push you to the lowest valley like a flood. If you hesitate for a second, you may miss a whole year. If you complain once, an opportunity will close a door to you. So you must seize the initiative and have an almost paranoid sense of purpose. Like Musk, take a planet as the end point. Like Kazuo and Amori, take every failure as self-cultivation. You are not working hard for today, but for you to stand tall in the crowd 10 years later. Without saying much, your aura will make people respect you. But this journey is destined to be uncomfortable. You will be lonely, laughed at, and doubt your life. Those who laugh at you will say that you are too hard-working, too pretentious, and too idealistic. It doesn't matter. When they say this, they are curled up on the sofa and wasting their golden years. And you are laying the foundation for the future with every drop of sweat. You can choose to escape, but you can also choose to fight back. You can choose to be mediocre. But you can also choose to be the kind of person who others will be silent for 3 seconds when your name is mentioned. Because you must understand, every choice you make today will become a footnote in your life in the future. Every step you take is a bet. What you are betting on is not luck, but your confidence in yourself, and your declaration of war on the world. The way you declare war on the world is to know clearly what you want. Too many people fail, not because they don't work hard, but because they don't know what they are working hard for. They wake up in the morning like a kite that has lost its line, and they are blown wherever the wind blows them. They say I want to succeed, but you ask him, what does success look like for you? He can't tell. He doesn't even know what he wants to be next month. Do you know what a person without a goal looks like? It's like pushing a ship into the sea without a rudder or a route. When the wind and waves come, you can only leave it to fate. People with goals are captains who hold the rudder themselves. Even if the storm comes, even if it's dark, he knows where to go. He will not be pushed by emotions, nor will he be swallowed by the environment. You don't need to see the next 10 years in one breath, but you must see the first step you should take today. You have to carve out your future like a sculptor. Vision is not a fantasy, but a fire ignited by a goal, which will illuminate your way through the night. Look at those who changed the world. Disney was so poor when he was a child that he couldn't afford drawing paper, so he practiced sketching with newspapers. He told others, I have a dream, a paradise built on the swamp. Everyone laughed and said he was crazy. He said, It's okay for you to laugh, but I will let you see it. 20 years later, the joke became a reality. And people all over the world took their children to make a pilgrimage to the dream created by that madman. If they can do it, why can't you do it? It's not that you don't have talent or resources. You just don't have the why that is so strong that you can't ignore it. When you ask yourself every day, why do I work so hard? Why don't I accept my fate? You will find that the real motivation is never for money or face, but for the self that you don't want to be let down. So stop being the person who always says I'll talk about it later. There is no such thing as later, only now. Are you ruthless enough? Be ruthless and say to yourself, from today on, I refuse to live in ambiguity. And when your vision is clear and your goals are firm, you will need a hammer next. Not to hit people, but to polish yourself. It's called self-discipline. Don't believe those lies of getting rich easily and success without hard work, which are just means of selling advertisements. The real strong people are all made from countless mornings when they don't want to persist. Self-discipline is not that you have taken a chicken blood and run 5 kilometers today, but that you are still willing to get up early, practice hard, and continue to grit your teeth every time others give up on the days when no one is supervising. Do you know what boxing champion Ali said? He said, I hate every minute of training, but I told myself not to give up, endure for a while, and enjoy it for a lifetime. It is this kind of ruthlessness, this kind of gritting teeth, and this attitude of fighting hard when no one is watching that made him a boxing champion. Unlike most people, who only want to show their efforts in the circle of friends, but are ready to escape at any time in reality. Do you want freedom? Then make yourself worthy of freedom first. Do you want to control your destiny? Then stop being led by emotions and stop betraying long-term ideals for short-term pleasure. A truly free person is the one who can say no in the face of temptation, and the one who can take the initiative to say enough in the comfort zone. And when you do these, you will begin to feel a power you have never experienced before. That is a joy of I am really changing. It's not that others praise you, but you know it yourself. You are reborn. Your walking posture will change, your eyes will change when you speak, and even your perspective on the world will change. You no longer complain, wait, or make excuses. You begin to understand. You are not here to make up the numbers in this world. You are here to write a legend. But legends are not written in one day. It requires daily persistence and the accumulation of every small decision. Your habits, your mentality, and the way you look at difficulties will eventually become the height of your life. This is not chicken soup, this is a real awakening, but self-discipline alone is not enough. Self-discipline is your chassis, but what really drives you forward is action. Only action is the real watershed. You say you have a dream, but you are waiting for the perfect time every day. You say you want to change your life, but you are always preparing. The easiest thing in the world is thinking, and the hardest thing is doing. You are not short of opportunities, you are short of that foot, the foot that really takes a step. Reality is not an ideal country, and the world will never prepare a perfect starting line for you. You have to run in the mud, cry and make mistakes in the wind and rain, and become your own fuel when no one believes in you. Are you waiting for the best time? Let me tell you, that time will never come. What you have to do is not to wait for the wind to come, but to learn to make your own wind. Look at Steve Jobs. He was kicked out of Apple. If it were someone else, he might have never recovered. But what did he do? He didn't sink. He founded Next, acquired Pixar, and turned animated films upside down. Later, Apple came back and asked him to take the helm again. He didn't laugh at the world, but kicked away the past failures and turned Apple into a symbol of changing the world. That attitude of being knocked down by fate and standing up again is what you should be like. So you have to understand that action is your sharpest weapon against fate. And if you don't take action, you are surrendering. Don't say you are afraid of failure. Failure is not terrible. What is terrible is that you have never given yourself a chance. Many people lose not because of their ability, but because they persuade themselves to give up before they even start. Remember, action itself is the answer. Even if you are not doing it perfectly now, even if you will fall, even if you will be laughed at, these are not important. What matters is that you are already on the road. While most people are still hiding in their shells pretending that they will suddenly explode one day. Wake up, there are no miracles in life, only action. And on your way of continuous action, you will encounter a deeper test, change. The world has changed, the rules are changing, the market is changing, and the technology is changing. If you still live today with the thinking of 10 years ago, you are doomed to be eliminated. What you need is adaptability. You have to be like water, following the shape without losing the essence. No matter how the environment changes, you can adjust your strategy, reorganize yourself, and quickly enter a new state. This is not a compromise, but a strategic wisdom. Those who can reverse in a crisis are not the strongest, not the smartest, but the most adaptable to change. You see, the Ford Motor empire almost collapsed because they refused to change at the beginning. Later, they changed their strategy, introduced electrification, intelligence, and rearranged their layout to survive. And you? When the world says no to you, can you quickly reconstruct your plan? When life suddenly tears off everything you rely on most, can you stand up as quickly as possible? Can you keep your faith, keep your action, and keep your soul from collapsing in the change? Adaptability is not weakness, it is a high-dimensional art of survival. But the harder things are still to come. When you start to adapt, take action, and take on more and more, the real enemy will surface: pressure. Don't underestimate pressure. It is not the weight on your back, but the shadow in your heart. It will tell you when you are most tired. You can't do it. It will whisper to you when you are most lonely. Give up. It will swallow up your former confidence piece by piece, and make you start to doubt everything. At this time, only one power can save you. That is the ability to resist pressure, resilience. It is not the kind of toughness of pretending to be fine, but the resilience to stand up again after you are knocked down. It is when you face the blows of life, the failure of your career, and the collapse of interpersonal relationships, you still do not become that indifferent and numb person. Have you read the story of Edison? He used thousands of materials to make filaments and failed, and some people laughed at him for wasting his life. He only said one sentence: "I didn't fail, I just found 1,000 ways that didn't work." This is not the spirit of AQ. This is the determination that does not collapse in adversity. Because he knows that it is not the pressure that crushes people, but the thought in your heart that I can't hold on any longer. So you have to train your heart and refine it like iron. You have to accept the truth. The truly meaningful road is never easy. What you have to do is not to avoid pressure, but to turn pressure into a driving force. You can cry, but you can't stop. You can collapse for a second, but you must stand up in the next second. You have to be like a warrior, go through the chaos, and continue to rush forward with injuries. Because you are not here to compromise, you are here to conquer. But don't think that as long as you can bear it, it is enough. The ability to withstand pressure is that you don't fall in the storm. But what really determines how far you fly is your mentality. The mentality is not what you say: "I am optimistic" or "I am fine." The real mentality is how you explain the world, how you explain setbacks, and how you explain your own value. Have you found that for the same thing, some people collapse when they encounter it, while some people can go through it with a smile? The difference is not in the event, but in the way of explanation, your belief system. A negative belief system will make you see every challenge as a disaster. A positive belief system will make you see challenges as opportunities to upgrade. The world does not run according to your wishes, it is driven by the direction of your beliefs. You always say, "I am unlucky, I can't do it, I am not as good as others." This is not modesty, this is a curse. You feed poison into your brain every day, and then expect your life to get better. Stop this self-destruction. Start today and build a new belief system. Tell yourself, "I deserve better." Tell yourself, "No one is more qualified than me to try." Tell yourself, "As long as I keep cultivating myself, I am qualified to stand on any stage." There is a story you must have heard, but today I want you to listen to it again. There was a boy who was told by his teacher that he had brain problems when he was a child. He always failed the exams, always spoke a little slower, and no one was optimistic about him. But his mother firmly believed in one thing: he was not stupid, he was just special. She did not accept the label of waste. She taught him personally and encouraged every little progress he made. This boy grew up to invent light bulbs, tape recorders, and movie cameras. His name is Thomas Edison. It was his mother's belief that saved him, but more importantly, he believed it himself. He didn't let the world define him, he defined himself. What about you? Are you still letting others label you? Are you still living in the boundaries set by others? You should tear off these labels. You should be like a sculptor, chiseling and chiseling, knocking the powerful self out of the stone. Belief is not an inspiring slogan, but when you question yourself late at night, you still clench your fist and say, I don't admit defeat, because you understand, this world is not won by explanation, but by results. And the results always start with mentality. There is a kind of person you want to be. No matter how the environment collapses, he can rebuild order. No matter how life laughs at him, he will not stop smiling. There is no resentment in his eyes, only fire. It's not that he has no wounds, but he has long learned to use wounds to illuminate the way forward. This kind of person uses mentality to defeat fate, uses belief to defeat mediocrity, uses every broken yesterday to forge an indestructible today. You don't need to be omnipotent from the beginning. You just need to push yourself to the stronger version at every moment. Mentality is this kind of thing. It doesn't convince you that it's okay now, but it gives you the strength to change everything. And this kind of change never depends on others. You have to rewrite your belief system like a programmer. You have to delete the old I can't. You have to clear the I don't deserve in the cache, and then enter a new command. I am the kind of person who can counterattack from mediocrity. You are not a tool, not a background board, not a runner-up. You are the protagonist. You have to live like a protagonist. The protagonist is not without pain, but he chooses not to be defined by pain. The protagonist is not without confusion, but he can redraw the map every time he gets lost. You have to change what if I fail, to what if I succeed. You have to learn to question fate, not pray for fate. You have to be the one who even opens fate. People who are afraid of the beginning. Yes, the world is full of uncertainty. But one thing is always certain. You can choose what kind of mentality to face it. You can choose to be silent, give in, and go with the flow. You can also choose to ignite your faith, take the initiative, and change the rules. The right to choose is always in your hands. Yes, you can choose what kind of mentality to face the world. But if you only rely on your mentality and have no ability, then you can hold on for a while, but not for a lifetime. What can really be sustained and strong is the ability to continue to learn. You must accept the fact that all your pain at this moment essentially comes from your ability depth. If you don't understand, you will be misunderstood. If you don't know, you can only give in. If you don't deserve it, you can only watch others occupy the position of your dreams, and then you applaud from the audience. Growth is the only solution. You have to evolve yourself, constantly upgrade, and break through from skills, cognition to vision. You must force yourself to learn something every day, not to cope with exams, but to take the initiative. The future is not for the hardest working people, but for the fastest evolving people. Look at this era. The speed of technological updates has far exceeded human inertia. Artificial intelligence, blockchain, metaverse, business models, all old advantages are being subverted. If you don't learn, it doesn't mean you won't be replaced. If you don't watch, it doesn't mean the world will stop and wait for you. Only those who continue to learn have the power of choice. They will not be discarded as old parts by the times. But deeper learning is a way of thinking. It is called growth mindset. Some people say I can't do it when they encounter a problem. Some people will say I haven't learned it yet. It sounds similar, but there is a world of difference. The former regards failure as the end, and the latter regards failure as a process. The former regards difficulties as obstacles, and the latter regards difficulties as teaching materials. Who do you think will go further? This world does not look at whether you have fallen, but whether you have learned after falling. Growth mindset makes you understand it's not that you are not talented enough, but that your upgrade is not complete. It's not that you are destined to be mediocre, but that you have not fully awakened. Do you want freedom? Then start upgrading your version today. You are not a static you 1.0. You are an infinitely evolving you infinity. And what really keeps you evolving is a power that is almost forgotten by the times, gratitude. Yes, gratitude. In this era where everyone is anxious and everyone wants to win, gratitude sounds like a soft word. But it is your path to cross anxiety and the key to keep you clear-headed under high pressure. Gratitude is not sentimentality, it is rationality in battle. You are grateful that you are still on the road, which means you have not given up. You are grateful that there are still challenges in front of you, which means you still have a chance to reverse. You are grateful to those who have denied you, because they make you go on more firmly. You are grateful for every little progress, every dawn in the trough. You are even grateful for the stones thrown by life, because they are the bricks you build into the future tower. Many people collapse halfway through their fight, not because the failure is too heavy, but because they do not have grateful eyes and forget where they have come from. Forget how much they once longed to be who they are now one day. You should always look back. How far has the you who once wanted to escape mediocrity, cried bitterly, and struggled alone gone? He may not be perfect yet, but he is different. And all these changes are the result of your climbing out inch by inch. So you should be grateful to yourself and the soul that never gives up. Gratitude will make you stable, and only after you are stable will you have the spare energy to continue to climb. Because you know that even if you haven't reached the end yet, you are already on the road. You are no longer the you who is spinning in place, but on the road of self-transcendence, and don't look back. This road will not always be bright. There will be rain, wind, ridicule, and misunderstanding. But as long as you are still learning, growing, and remembering your original intention, no one can really defeat you. They can question your temporary results, but they cannot question the direction of your continuous evolution. You are no longer the person who easily retreats and is used to waiting in the past. You are changing, you are evolving, and you are fighting back in silence in your own way. You know, every drop of sweat when reading, every heartbeat when challenging yourself, every late night when you grit your teeth and persevere, will one day bloom into light in your life. And what you have to do is to keep going. Keep learning, keep practicing, and keep persevering. Don't stop watering just because you can't see the results for a while. What you are cultivating is the mangroves of your own era, a miracle that others cannot replicate. You are already on the road, but you must also know, where are you going? A life without purpose is like a bullet without a target. It is fired, but it only makes a sound, but it will never hit the bullseye of fate. You have to ask yourself a question: why do I live? Is it to live less painfully, or to live out the real meaning? The most ridiculous thing about this world is not that some people fail, but that most people have never really lived. They just exist. They open their eyes, go to work, go home, eat, browse their phones, sleep, day after day, repeating a vague self. They never think about who I am, and dare not face what I want to be. You are not that kind of person. You come to listen to this passage not to be comforted, but to be awakened. You have to find the center of your life. The purpose of life is not to live more like others, but to live more like yourself. It is not to win the applause of others, but to win your own respect. It is not to avoid failure, but to live a proud journey with all your strength. You must do one thing: define your life. Instead of letting the company define you, your education define you, your label define you, and your past define you. You have to stand up in the chaotic world and speak out your direction loudly. Just like a ship, holding a flag high in the storm, I have the final say where I am going. No one can tell you the definition of success unless you write it down first. Maybe your success is to become a fearless entrepreneur. Maybe it is to become a child who changes the fate of the family. Maybe it is to live a real, valuable, free and unrestrained life. No matter what it is, it must be yours. You define it, you pursue it, and you complete it. This is your mission. You are not born to please the world, but to change the world's view of you. When you see the direction clearly, you have to go. Go immediately, go hard, don't look back, don't hesitate, and don't need an audience. You don't need to be seen to be valuable. You know you are getting stronger, that's enough. From this moment on, you have to engrave a sentence in your mind. I refuse to be mediocre. I refuse to live like a routine every day. I refuse to exchange my passion for silence. I refuse to hide my talent in excuses. I refuse to live a life that is obviously unwilling but pretends to be okay. From this moment on, I choose to grow, choose to challenge, and choose to shine. Even if I fall, even if I am misunderstood, even if I am lonely, I will no longer retreat. I want to be the person who is still firm in the chaos. Be the person who becomes silent when others mention his name. Be the legend who does not rely on luck or relationships, but only on himself step by step. Don't wait anymore. Don't ask anymore. You have heard the knock of fate, right now, in the sound of your heartbeat, in the restless cry of your soul. The second after you read this sentence, you want to stand up and say loudly, I don't want to go on like this. That is not an impulse, it is the awakening of your soul. Listen to it, follow it, make today the first day of your new life. Make every ordinary day a memorable battle history. Be the person you could have been, the free, powerful, independent, irreplaceable you. The world has never owed you anything, but you owe yourself a chance to not accept your fate. Now is the time for you to make good on this opportunity. Go, don't look back.